Hi Nana. Today we will learn about alloys, okay, and amalgam. What is an alloy? Alloy is nothing but a homogeneous solid mixture, or else it may be called as solution also. A homogeneous solid solution of two or more metals, two or more metals which are mixed in a fixed proportion when they are in their molten state. For example, if you take an alloy called as brass, there are so many alloys. There are so many alloys. So let us take one example. So brass is an alloy of copper and zinc. How this alloy is made? How brass is made? Actually, copper metal is melted. So this is molten copper. Molten copper. Now even zinc metal is also melted. Now this is molten zinc. Molten copper and molten zinc. So now these two are mixed. This one molten copper and molten zinc, they are mixed. Okay, and made a solution, a uniform homogeneous solution, so that a homogeneous or else a uniform solution is formed. So upon cooling this upon cooling this mixture, it will form what? It will form brass. Okay. So now this is called as alloy of this copper and zinc. Okay. In this way, these alloys are manufactured, or else alloys are prepared when molten solutions are mixed. So that means when molten solutions are mixed in fixed proportion. For example, actually this brass contains copper around 60 to 80%. For example, if 80% of copper is present and 20% of zinc is present, so that means a fixed proportion of these two metals are mixed, or else any sometimes more than two metals are also mixed in different alloys. But in this particular alloy, copper and zinc are mixed in the proportion of 80 to 20% in their molten state, and finally will make an alloy. So that means here actually two or more metals which are mixed in a fixed proportion when they are in their molten state. Okay. So like this. So alloy, what is alloy? Alloy is a homogeneous solid solution of two or more metals which are mixed in a fixed proportion when they are in a molten state. So this is about the definition of alloy. Okay. Now, if you see the properties of alloy, these alloys, the properties of alloys, if you see, these alloys have intermediate properties of the constituent metals. Properties, if you see the alloys of properties of alloys, they have intermediate properties. They have intermediate properties of the mixed metals. Okay, they have intermediate properties of the mixed metals. That means this brass is having the properties of copper and even the properties of zinc. Okay, so brass have properties of copper and properties of zinc, and the thing is, copper, it have some better properties, and also there are some some properties which are very weak. Even zinc also have some better properties and also some weak properties. So what happens? So only the better properties are exhibited by brass. The better properties of copper and the better properties of zinc are exhibited by the brass. See, some of the properties which are not shown by copper, they are shown by zinc. Okay. And some of the properties which are not shown by zinc, they are shown by copper. So all the properties which are missing, they are present in this brass. So that means brass have, alloys have, alloys, regarding properties of alloys, alloys have improved properties, or else better properties than the metals. Alloys have better properties than the metals. Okay. Right. So in this way, the properties of alloys can be discussed. Then why? Why should we make alloys? See, alloys are made to change the physical properties of the constituent metals to achieve some specific properties. See, that means to change the physical properties of alloys of the metals, to change the specific physical properties of metals. For example, if you take metal aluminium, it is light in weight. That metal is lightweight metal, but it is very soft. Or else fairly soft. So being lightweight, it is a good thing for us. Okay, but it is very soft. So in order to use aluminium metal, for example, in order to make the aircrafts that one frames, so with aluminium, so what happens, to lift the aircraft, it is easy if you make with aluminium because of its lightweight. But what happens after moving certain height, so it may break down because of its very soft nature. What happens, it may bend or it may break down. So that is the defect with the aluminium metal. So that is why aluminium cannot be made used to manufacture aircraft frames. So that is why this aluminium, it is mixed with some other metals like nickel, etc. What happens, or else manganese, nickel or manganese, some other metals are mixed with it. So what happens now this it is called as alloy. Now it is an alloy, and the mixture, this is an alloy after mixing of aluminum with manganese or any other metal. So now this will show better properties. It will show better properties. Okay, it will show better properties. Now this material, it is having strength. So now the strength of this material is increased. So now it is have good strength. Okay, strength is improved. Strength is improved. That means it becomes stronger. It becomes as strong as steel. As strong as steel. Okay, as strong as steel. So now this can be used to make the aircrafts. Okay, material of aircrafts. Okay, so that means now the material, now if this material is used, as it is light in weight and it is also stronger, it can withstand heavy weights, hence it does not break. Hence such aluminium, its physical properties are changed by alloying. That means alloying, what happens is done to change the specific physical properties of metals. Here the strength is improved. The property called as lightweight. So that lightweight property, it is maintained still, and because it is weaker, as it is soft, it is weaker. Hence the strength of the this aluminium is increased by mixing some other metals to it. Okay, in this way this I mean, we can alloying is done to change the specific physical properties of the metals. Okay. And also, so this is this instead of aluminum metal. So if only aluminum is used to make machinery parts or machines, what happens? So they may break down or else they may bend. So if you mix this aluminum with manganese, what happens? So then this it will become strengthened, and the machines now this material can be used to make machines or else machinery parts. Okay, so only aluminum cannot be used, but when aluminum is mixed with manganese or else some other metals, so what happens? So this will become stronger. Okay, and that can be used to make machines or else machinery parts. So like this, I mean, alloying will improve the specific properties of the metals. There is another term known as amalgam. What is amalgam? What is amalgam? Amalgam. What is amalgam? Amalgam. It is nothing but a mixture of any metal. Mixture of any metal with mercury. Okay. So amalgam is also an alloy. It is also another type. It is an alloy, but mercury is one of the compulsory one of the metal used in this. Okay. So along with mercury, some other metals are used. So mercury is must. So if any metal, if it is mixed with mercury, then that mixture is said to be, or else that alloy is said to be amalgam. So here these amalgams may be in liquid form, or else in semi-solid form, or else it may be in solid form, or else like this. Okay. So for example, if you take a liquid example of liquid amalgam, sodium mercury amalgam. See, we have seen in the lesson that one in the lesson called as production hydrogen. So in the hydrogen lesson, so sodium, it is highly reactive. As it is highly reactive metal, so we cannot produce hydrogen gas by using sodium alone. Okay, because when sodium is mixed with water, what happens? So it produces hydrogen gas, but it is very explosive mixture. Okay, I mean, it is very the reaction is very rapid, so that we cannot catch hydrogen gas. Sometimes it may catch fire also. So in order to reduce the reactivity of sodium, so this sodium is mixed with mercury. The sodium is mixed with mercury, so that the reactivity of sodium will decrease, will come down, so that now this metal or this sodium, amalgamated sodium, can be used to prepare hydrogen gas. Okay, so like this, now this is amalgamated sodium, it is in liquid form. Let us learn another amalgam. This is called as sodium amalgam, and this zinc amalgam. Zinc amalgam, it is used in voltaic cells. Okay, mercury amalgam, it is used in voltaic cells. What is voltaic cell? Voltaic cell. What is an voltaic cell? Voltaic cell is it is a cell, or else it's a container, or else it's an instrument where chemical energy is converted into chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. Chemical energy is converted into electrical energy, or else electricity. Electrical energy or or electricity. So like this. So that means amalgam. Amalgam is nothing but when a metal is mixed with mercury. An alloy. Amalgam is an alloy of metal with mercury. Okay. And amalgam may be in the form of liquids such as sodium mercury amalgam, which is used as a powerful reducing agent. So this one is used as a powerful reducing agent. Powerful reducing agent. That means it can remove hydrogen from even water also. Okay. So it's a from water. Okay. For example, actually this can be used as powerful reducing agent. Okay. Now, here zinc amalgam, it is used in voltaic cells, etc. So this is about some point. These are some points about amalgam. Now we will learn the different types of alloys. Different types of alloys or else different common alloys. There are so many alloys in the nature. Which are made from different metals. Okay, we will learn some common alloys which we use in our day-to-day life. Okay, we learn some common alloys. Okay. Okay, first of all, we learn about brass. Brass. Brass means ittadi. In Telugu, we will call as ittadi. Okay, brass is nothing but ittadi. It's a brass. It is an alloy. So it's an alloy of. So this is an alloy of copper, because copper is the principal metal. That means the major metal, the important metal, or it is present in more amount. Carbon is the principal metal. Okay, in the alloy brass. So if you see the composition of this one, the composition of brass, it contains copper and zinc. These two metals are mixed to make a brass. So copper, it is present around 60 to 80%, whereas zinc is present around 40 to 20% of zinc is present in this alloy. Okay. See, if you see the properties of this brass, it is lustrous. Lustrous. What is lustrous? What's the meaning of lustrous? Lustrous means shining property. Its surface shines brightly. Okay. Generally, metals are lustrous. Here, this is an alloy of two metals. Hence, it is lustrous. Okay, that means shining property, and also it is more malleable, and more ductile than copper. Okay, it is more ductile and more malleable. Okay, than copper. So brass is more malleable. So that means malleable means we can make very thin sheets from brass. When compared to copper, even when compared to copper, brass can be made very easily into thin sheets. And when compared to copper, brass can be made, can be drawn from brass. We can draw wires very easily. That means ductile property means the property by which wires can be drawn from this material. So that means wires can be made easy from brass when compared to copper, because brass is more ductile than copper. So like this, the properties of brass can be discussed. So if you see the uses of brass, so it is used to make utensils. It is used to make utensils. Okay, shells of ammunition rounds. It is used to make shells of ammunition rounds. What is meaning of ammunition? Ammunition means actually ammunition rounds. Generally during the training of during police training or else military training. So there will be ammunition round. That means shooting, shooting or firing, shooting or firing. So here the training of shooting or firing. So for this they use certain bullets or else shells. Okay, so these shells or else bullets are made up of brass. So shells of ammunition rounds, okay, are made of brass. Right. Next, electrical wires or else electrical switches. So it is also used to make electrical switches. So like this alloy brass can be discussed. Brass. Next, after brass, we will discuss about the another alloy, bronze. Bronze. What is bronze? Bronze is also an alloy of copper. It is also an alloy of copper because copper is the principal metal in this. If you see the composition of bronze, so it contains a copper, okay, tin or else copper plus zinc. Even tin is also present along with this copper. So copper is present around 80% and tin and zinc they are present in 10% each. Okay. Now, if you see the properties of this bronze, it is hard and brittle. It is hard and brittle. What is the meaning of brittle? Brittle means which can break by using. So if you apply some force on it, that material will break down. So here bronze will break down if you apply some force on it. Okay. So it is also hard. Okay, and it takes high polish. So the thing is, the another property is it can take it takes high polish. That means we can polish this material. Okay, very. I mean, we can polish this material to very much so that it can shine. That bronze will shine very brightly upon polishing. Okay, we can make it as smooth as possible. That means polishing means we can make a smooth, okay, by polishing any material. So here bronze can be highly polished, takes high polish. So where does this bronze used? So it is used in making coins, in making coins, okay, utensils, making utensils, and also in making statues. Statues are made from bronze. Statues are made from bronze. Okay. The next alloy is gunmetal. See, gunmetal, it is an alloy. It is an alloy of copper. So this particular alloy, gunmetal, it is made up of copper, tin, zinc, and lead. So the composition of gunmetal contains 88% copper, 10% tin, 1% zinc, and 1% lead. And this particular gunmetal, it has properties like it is very hard gives good cast. Cast means, I mean, it can be used for molding purpose. Okay, so that means we can mold this gunmetal material easily as we need. Okay, or else as we require. So we can mold this material. Okay, so if you see the uses of gunmetal, so it is used to make barrels of gun. Okay, suppose if this is a gun, then this is a barrel of gun. Okay, so this is the barrels of gun. So the barrels of gun are made up of this gunmetal. Okay, and even it is used to make gears. It is used to make bearings, etc. Okay. Next, the next alloy is German silver. Even German silver is also an alloy of copper. So actually, the composition of German silver contains 30 to 60% of copper, 25 to 35% of zinc, and 15 to 35% of nickel. If you see the properties of German silver, it is white. It is this material is white in color, so it is as white as silver. Okay, and it is malleable and ductile. If you see the uses of German silver, so it is used to make imitation jewelers. So that means it looks like silver jewelry, but it is not silver jewelry. So okay, that means imitation. Imitation means it looks like. Okay. So German silver is used to make imitational jewelries. Okay, it is an imitation to silver. That means it appears like silver metal, silver jewelry, but it is not a silver jewelry. And it is used to make utensils. It is used to make some decoration pieces. Okay, etc. So the next alloy is bell metal. So this is also an alloy of copper. This alloy contains copper and tin. So copper is 80% and tin is 20%. So this alloy is hard, brittle, and produces sonorous sound. What is the meaning of sonorous sound? Sonorous sound means a ringing sound. It sounds like tongue, tongue, tongue. Generally, metals are sonorous in nature. So this bell metal, it is as it produces a good sonorous sound. Hence, it is used to make bells, ringing bells. Okay, and it is used to make gongs. What is gong? Gong generally. So gongs are the gong is a it is a material. For example, so here this is gong. Okay, this gong is hanged. This gong it is hanged. So here, if this gong is beaten, it will make very large sounds. Okay, sometimes it may, if someone is near to this one, it may cause bleeding in the nose or else in even in ears. Okay, so upon this beating this gong, it produces large sounds. Okay, generally it is used in different churches or temples, etc. Okay, okay, even in movies you will find sometimes. Okay. So like this, this gong is made up of bell metal. Okay, right. Now we'll discuss about the next alloy known as solder. Solder, it is an alloy of tin. Okay, so all these are alloys of copper. So even in our, in our brass, bronze, gunmetal. Okay, so all these are alloys of copper, but solder is an alloy of tin. If you see the composition of solder, it is made up of tin and lead. Tin is present in a 50 to 60% and lead is around 50 to 40%. if you see the properties of the alloy solder, so it is a low melting material. Okay, low melting alloy, it do not react with air or water. Okay, solder, it does not react with air or water. So this particular alloy, it is used for soldering purpose. What is the meaning of soldering? Soldering means generally in electronic equipments we will use, for example, to join two metal pieces, to join two copper pieces, or else in circuit, in electrical circuits, some parts known as diodes, resistors, triodes, etc. So some very minute parts are present in the electrical circuits. So in the circuits, so that these parts, they are joined to the circuit. So they are soldered to the circuit. Soldering means joining the metal pieces is said to be soldering. Okay. Even welding is also a type of soldering is also a type of welding. Okay, but in welding we use iron, but soldering purpose we use generally this solder. Solder is a mixture of lead and tin. Okay, so this is an alloy of tin, right? Next alloy is type metal. So the name of the alloy is type metal. Type metal is an alloy of lead. If you see the composition of type metal, it is a type metal. So it is used for making types. It is used in printing type. So that means letters. The letters which are used to print on the paper. So those letters, they are made up of this material, type material. Okay, the alloy known as type metal. Okay. Type metal is used to make those letters which are used for printing purpose. So this metal is very hard and expands on cooling. Okay, and it is having low melting point. If you see the composition of this type metal, it contains it is made up of lead, tin, and antimony. So lead is 70%. Hence, the principal metal of type metal is lead only. That is why type metal is called as alloy of lead. Okay, so it contains tin 10 to 10% and antimony 20%. So like this, these are different alloys. Okay, so these are some of the common alloys. So we will learn the other things in the next video.